going down. It's going down. It's going down on the Tiddy Pow Wow. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down on the Tiddy Pow Wow. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down. Tiddy Pow Wow.
Oh, what is up? It is going down on the Tiddy Pow Wow. It's your girl, Quisha Denise, here with my lovely pod bae, Bernica Joan.
Hi.
Hi.
We're back.
We're definitely back.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us today on the Tiddy Pow Wow.
Today we're talking about Where's the Market is the name of our show today. And that's because we'll be discussing being single out here in these streets.
Yeah.
And what that looks like for women in their mid-30s and up.
Yeah.
Or well, you're in the young 30s, so you're 32, right?
Yeah, late 20s, 30s. I think it's just kind of when you come into, really knowing who you are and wanting to, I guess, just be more conscious of who you let in your life.
Absolutely.
It's so important. When you, teens and younger 20s, you can make those mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
But like once you start having kids and once you start setting yourself up in a different position in your life, you really have to make better choices of who you bring around yourself, your kids, your family, and who you give your time to.
And allow to impact your spirit.
Exactly.
So yeah. But we gotta take a little pause for the cause today.
Yeah. We really do. So it's been a really sad week. I like Nipsey Hussle's music. I never really was a big fan to like listen to it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But, I thought he was pretty tight. But I never listened to his music. But him passing away has hit me so hard. I think a lot of people, even a lot of people who didn't know anything about him, just when you hear all the, messages and the condolences that everybody's pouring out for him that knew him, it brings light to what type of man he was outside of the music. And to me, that, it just, it's more profound than anything else that he's done.
Absolutely. Because, a lot of black men die. A lot of black men die by the gun and get killed in the streets and different things like that. But when certain people die, it's just a different, I feel like it was a different
effect.
It was a different effect, but it just felt like it was just weird. Like, and everybody's like, why is this impacting me so much? A lot of people hadn't listened to a whole lot of his music. I ain't gonna say a lot of people. A lot of people have listened to a lot of his music, but some of us haven't, listened to everything or knew a lot about him. But it was just the way people mourned him. It felt the same way it felt for me when Kim Porter died, because you could tell that, he was just, a god in his own right. The way he was just really the way people just celebrated the end of his life.
Yeah, or even like you said, I wasn't a fan of his music, but I'm a fan of everything he stood for.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, like him giving back to his community, him even like talking about like the importance of eating healthy. That's like the biggest struggle for me, but it's amazing, or it's just a great thing to see, people in our culture, or someone in our culture trying to push the importance of just living your life healthy, mentally, physically, spiritually. I just feel like he stood for all of that. And to me, that just superseded any music he could have ever put out here as to what type of man. Like, he was definitely a king in his own right. So we just gonna have a few little minutes of silence for the great Nipsey Hussle, Neighborhood Nip. All right.
Yeah. So, rest in peace, rest in love, rest in power. All of it.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely gonna, I feel like this is our generation of like when Pac got killed. Like the way that the world mourned when Pac got killed, this is how we feel about Nipsey, because he had so much more life, gifts, everything to give to us. And it was just cut so short by something senseless. And like you said, there are, black men that die every day, you know what I'm saying? And not saying that their lives were less valuable as his, but in his song, I can't remember what song it was, but I was listening. He said, find your purpose or you wasted air. And I felt like he was somebody that was definitely like showed his purpose
Yeah,
in
walking
life
in his
and walked in
purpose.
his
Yeah.
purpose. And to me, like, that's so important. Like, if you're not doing that, then what are you really here for?
Yeah,
You
and
know?
and even when we talking about, where's the market, and talking about thinking about the type of men that are out here and stuff like that. Like, if you were to be with somebody and they would pass away, like, though the way people felt about him, that's the way I would want somebody to feel about somebody I was with if they left. He definitely left a legacy. Um, and I didn't even know he had done so much in 33 years.
Yeah. I love that, because that wasn't what he
He didn't
tried to
need a
put
whole
out
lot of
there.
attention.
Nah, he just did it out of the goodness of his heart. So you could tell he was a good man, But unfortunately, there's haters out here, and that's one thing when when you're somebody that's out here doing good, not everybody's gonna want to see that, and it's sad, But I know one thing, Lauren London, her kids will be able to grow up and see from all different avenues, what type of father they had, and be proud of the man that you know that they call their father.
Yeah. Pride. I mean, having pride in somebody else, just knowing that they need to be doing. And I think that's where what I even on the last episode of the Tiddy Pow Wow, I talked about, a lot of people have misplaced pride, but it seemed like, he had what he needed.
Yeah.
He was definitely had the right mind and the right heart.
Most definitely. So, big ups to Nip. He's I'm definitely gonna, actually there's a challenge that they talking about doing, like, and I'm starting it on the 7th because I'm trying to get everything right. And I think just with this situation, it's actually with that challenge, it's like a week, and it's just like smoothies, no meat, no dairy. It's all like, and I'm really gonna try. It's gonna be the hardest thing I've probably had to do in a long time, but I'm gonna do it, because I think one thing too that he does is he has definitely brought awareness to people kind of wanting to be in their purpose. And I feel like he would be so proud that he left that legacy. Like, people, when he died, now want to know what their purpose is, maybe want to get more involved in the community, want to give back. Even celebrities that have never been activists or philanthropists like that. I feel like this is going to push a lot of people that have that power to step their game up.
Yeah, definitely.
And, it doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or a regular person, there's things that you can do to just give back. And I just felt like that's something that he left that I would want to do, or my man. Like, I would want to be with someone who was that type of man.
Who cared about the community.
Exactly.
Even they said that even prior to his death that he was trying to bless somebody with some clothes who had just gotten out of penitentiary. So,
Yeah. In a little
you don't find them kind of guys every day.
No, not just Tony got me 2 sweaters. Girl, I don't know why I made me think about that, but that is hilarious. Oh Lord, Nipsey got me 2 sweaters when I got out of jail. Okay, just jokes. Had to bring a little, little jokey joke to
humor.
something to a little humor to a real sad situation. So, big ups to Nipsey. Shout out, condolences, heartfelt, to Lauren London. I couldn't imagine. But
definitely.
Just keep her in prayers, and everybody.
Yeah, her post really, really made me sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
back to where's the market?
Where is the market?
Okay, so we've been talking about this, and
we actually been joking about it. It actually derived from a joke. Us joking about the market. Because we definitely know there's no real like store market, you know what I mean? But it almost seems like there's where's the underground market of the good men? Where they hiding at? It definitely seems like there's this market or this illusion that there is a market for single people to find each other in this space is like. It seems like the market is fake. That's what it seems like.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like with the way the world that is going, and with social media, and just with the media in general, our culture, the way that it's evolved, I just feel like people, the biggest thing is people are not truthful, There's a
Yeah.
lack of honesty
Honesty.
in our culture when it comes
Really
to
about,
dating and stuff.
even about, it's definitely about availability, because a lot of people act like they're available because they're not married, or they don't show like who their significant other is, like on social media publicly, but they be really tied up.
Yeah.
And but presenting single. And so, I think being single, I haven't been single that long, but I feel like being single is very anxiety provoking. Um, Thinking about who you might run into next. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely.
Like
Especially
I don't have an optimistic outlook at this point about being single. I'm kind of like, I don't know what's around the corner. It's just a lot of different things when you meeting people, getting to know them. Like, who are you? What kind of person are you?
Yeah.
Do you have children? How many do you have?
Right. Who do you have them with?
Exactly. Do you take care of them?
Yeah.
Like,
and who raised you?
Exactly. Do you have a good relationship with your mother? Do you know how to be a father? Do you know how to be a stepfather?
Yeah. Do you want to be a stepfather? Like, because a lot of the times, these guys, and that's what you have to be more cautious of, especially when you are a mother dating. And I feel like this, and I think we've talked about this in another episode, but I'm kind of reiterate on it and kind of pull it into this conversation, because it's so important with who you choose to deal with when you have kids, because people can come in with like a knight in shining armor and have all of, they claim the best intentions, are all, this present themselves to be the perfect person, and then it turned out to be a flop. So I think with that is, you just really have to take the time to get to know people, because people have hidden agendas, and ultimately these are the people that's going to be around your kids, and you have to just really know who you letting in your life.
Yeah, and not only do they have hidden agendas, but they have hidden traumas. They have things that they haven't worked out. You know what I'm saying? Insecurities and different things that you just don't know what's on the market. You know what I mean? So it's just, is the fruit even real? Like I feel like I watched a movie, and I done ran this movie by a couple of people, and nobody seems to know what I'm talking about. And so then I started thinking, was it a dream? You know what I'm saying? But there's this movie that I saw, or maybe it was a dream. I don't know, because nobody else seems to have saw it. But there was like this market where it looked like this dictator was feeding these people while the people were hungry, but they had all these beautiful markets. But the fruit and the stuff at the market was fake. It wasn't real. And that's kind of how I see the market.
Yeah.
It's like, it looks good. It looks like there's a lot of people out here that are single or different things like that. But it's like, nah, they not. And then if they are, it's like, why are you single? And you know what I mean? Like, what is going on with you? For real.
But you said a mouthful talking about it looks good. People can dress it up, make it look so good, say all the right things, make you feel wonderful and make you feel great. But deep down, like, they are just broken and damaged in subtle ways, or sometimes, in not so subtle ways, can really break you or damage you because they're damaged. And I think that's the part that is just so important. And, when you know better, you do better. So just move. Just because you look good or just because you can date doesn't mean you should be dating at that point in your life. And I think people just have to look at themselves and check themselves, like, do I really, like, what do I have going on in my life? Do I even have the space to allow someone new in my life? What things do I need to work on before I hop into another relationship or start dating someone else? So many people are just so gun set on, well, let me show him that I can get somebody else. Like, the way I look at it is, you got him, so he should know you can get somebody else. But you got to do you do this service hopping from one relationship to the next without really taking that time to just chill out and just marinate on what happened, what you just went through, and what you can do or what you need to do in order to move forward in a more positive situation with someone else.
It's funny that you talking about moving forward, because it's funny. I jokingly one day was like, I'm gonna give me a shirt that said nigga, I tried, because I was just being stupid, right? Just a shirt to say nigga, I tried with a period.
Right.
I was like, a lot of people would probably wear that shirt.
Right.
But,
Period.
but at the same time, someone recently said to me, that's too much looking backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even think about that. You know what I'm saying? That you are really just not moving on emotionally, or not moving past whatever pain or whatever you went through. And so it was just funny to me to, a lot of the times when you're thinking about being out here, are you past the things that have happened before? You know what I'm saying? Are you ready? Like you said.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that word, and you might know what it is, because I know when I was like in my taking psychology, they call it something. It starts with an R, but it's like reliving,
ruminating,
reliving. You know, in the past, what happened, what went wrong, what you could have did better, all of that. The way, you know, and I did that in my last relationship. I mean, I probably for the first year after we broke up, and you stagnate yourself doing that, because you're thinking about things that you can't change, because you're in a totally different situation now, ain't no going back. But I feel like a part of the process, you know, getting out of a relationship, especially if it was real to you, you know, moving forward. And that's something that can really hold you back, but also it may be something also that can help you grow, because you can look at something like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have handled it like that, or maybe, you know, I can do this better moving forward, or I won't do this, or I will do that, you know.
Yeah, that's what I started thinking about, even when I was just thinking about the market, you know what I mean? I was like, maybe the person that I'm meant to be with whenever it's time is not even on the market. You know what I mean? And then I'm thinking the type of person that I would like to be with is going to require me to be a better version of myself. So I have a lot of work that I would like to do with myself before I, you know, be with somebody else.
Yeah.
And so sometimes you just have to think about that too. And I even being single, I was like, man, I'm kind of lonely. I kind of want to talk to somebody. I need a friend. But I was like, well, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't need a friend. I just need myself. And so, and to just, you know, focus, because focusing on somebody else is hard.
Girl,
I mean, it takes up a lot of your time anyway.
Yeah.
And then trying to manage everything else is really a good time to just, like, when I think about being single, it's really a good time to just beast out into other things that you want to do, whether it's get your body together, you know, musically, if you're trying to write, or if you're trying to go into another career or whatever. It's just go to school. Like, it's just a time to a podcast. It's just a time to really tend to the things about yourself that you may be neglected, even being in a relationship.
And I feel like too, if you do branch out and do those things, you know, whether it is, you know, a workout class or an art class, or, you know, a acting class, whatever it is that you're interested in, you're going to meet people when you do that. And to me, just developing relationships with other people that are on the same page as you, or that it's just a friendship, you know, it doesn't have to be romantic, that can maybe help fill a void, you know, and what you're missing. It's not really replacing that person, but it's replacing that time, you know, that you might have been given to that person in a more positive way. So I think that's really, really important, because, you know, even with my relationship, even you stepped in, you know what I'm saying, as a friend, to fill, you know, different voids, you know what I'm saying, after my relationship, because I think in that relationship, it was so consuming, so suffocating, that I didn't have a lot of time for friends in my life, to where once I became single, I was able to cultivate relationships with people that, like you, that had similar things like myself. And it's just all around made me a better person and helped me to grow past that situation.
I did that?
Yeah, Flint.
No, I'm a great friend.
Yay.
No, I'm just messing with you. But that is my, I think that's how I cope anyway. Like, when I'm going through something, or if I got, you know, anything going on, I'm one of the people that end up on my friends' couches and be over my friend's house. And I'll go from one friend's house, and they get tired, we about to live. Okay, I see you later. Go pull up on another friend until, like, whatever I'm going through or whatever I need to get out, I've talked about it, I've done whatever, you know. That's how I cope. It's through friendship. And so Um, a lot of people use different things. Of course, I do see a therapist.
Yeah, definitely.
Everybody should have a therapist. I'm a therapist, and I'm telling you that everybody should have a therapist. And that's another thing that I think about being single too, is like everybody goes through stuff. How have these men processed or dealt with the things that they've been through? You know what I mean? If they've had a rough childhood or different stuff like that. And I just don't want to end up over analyzing people.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes when people do stuff, it makes me wonder, like, what's going on with you? How do you deal with this or that? You know?
And that's a big thing, the mental health thing in our community. I feel like a lot of women, we seek therapists and, counselors, whenever we're going through stuff, whether it's postpartum, whether it's grief, whether it's the breakup of a relationship, whatever, we're going through. A lot of men don't do that. I mean, there probably are more men doing that, and that's wonderful that there's awareness now being brought to it. But I feel like there's such a stigma on it that men don't feel like, I'm gonna get through it. I don't need that. I don't need nobody in my business. But we're moving more towards, I feel like, a more open, culture, I feel like. And it's so important because when you have, a relationship is like a time in your life. It's a part of your life. And when it goes a different way, or when it separates, it can be like a death. And that's something like with grief counseling, when someone dies, like with the breakup of a relationship, whether you're male or female, it impacts you in a way to where you need to deal with that and talk it out to somebody, someone who's biased, someone who doesn't,
or unbiased.
That's what I mean. Somebody that's not going to, they're not your friends, because they're going to tell you everything you're doing is right and everything you want to hear. But, talking to somebody who is unbiased, who can tell you, okay, well, maybe, have you just look at it from a different perspective, because you're always going to want to look at the perspective like you are right. And then sometimes, you can see things from a different way when you talk to somebody who is a professional and can see things from both sides. So
exactly. But it's just, thinking about just men just taking care of themselves, how they take care of themselves mentally and spiritually. And then this girl said something the other day. She was like, but when you want somebody that's on your level? And I was like, well, what are the levels? You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we think the levels are, he need to be driving this, he need to be working here, or making this kind of money, or doing this, or doing that. And it's just like, no. So what are the levels for you, Bernica Joan? What is it when you think about somebody being on your level? Like, what are the levels?
It's levels to this shit. The levels. I mean, my thing is being more in tune, and I think that's where it becomes an evolution, growing, being smart about decisions you make. It's not about what they look like, what they drive. It's about really, to me, more spiritually. I mean, definitely more mentally and more spiritually, because that is what's most important. And when you're talking about bringing someone into your life, around your family, around your kids, you want to make sure that person is mentally and spiritually on the same level as you. You all have the same values. You all think the same. And there can be certain little subtle things that you notice about that person that can help you to see where they are mentally and spiritually. Now, also, moving forward, he's got to be about 6 feet taller, because I'm not dealing with no more shrimps who are wasting my time. You're gonna be 6. You're gonna be 6. You're gonna be 6 feet or taller with really mentally and spiritually strong. That's the level he's gonna be on for me. What about you, Miss Quisha?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even trust myself at this point. No, I'm just joking. I think the levels for me, definitely mentally. You know what I mean? And he has to be somebody that can hold a decent conversation. Some people, they just don't be talking about nothing. But spiritually, and just a good man. Like, I want somebody, I like sweet people. I like sweet men. I like strong men who are like protective, and I don't know nobody that's like no punk or nothing. But I want a man who is still sweet and good to others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's important to me. I think jerks are funny. Like, dudes who are jerks are funny to me. But I wouldn't want to be with a dude that's a jerk.
It's funny you say it, because I love
You like jerks?
No, well, I love like Charlemagne the God. I love
he's definitely
him.
a jerk.
He's the biggest. He's such a jerk, but I'm cool. I click with him, but I would never want to date him.
Mm-hmm.
But
he would be somebody that I would hang with and talk shit with and all of that.
And
but
also
he's
somebody good to get the perspective of how men think from, because he's gonna be blunt, honest, and let you know what it is the guys really think.
Yeah.
But I would never date him.
Yeah.
I could never do it. Plus he's a Cancer, so don't work.
See, and that's another thing that people see is the levels, the zodiac signs.
Hey.
Like he can't be this sign or that sign just because you had a bad experience with one.
Yeah. Hey, I feel like when it's a pattern amongst a certain sign, it's almost just a good thing to kind of veer off that road. Yeah. But I mean, that's not the whole factor, but it's
another level for me, I guess it used to be anyway. I didn't like dealing with guys who had kids, but it wasn't because I didn't like kids. It was because I didn't like to deal with other women. Like I didn't like the idea of having to deal with somebody or share you with another household or nothing like that. So but now, I have multiple children. I have 3 kids now, so I can't be like, oh, I'm not dealing with nobody who has kids, because also at 36, I mean, most people have kids by this age. I'm definitely not going younger.
Yeah, no. No, forward is the motion.
Forward is the motion. What you say, 43s when they mature?
43 or older. How about that? Ain't no way. I couldn't dare. Honey, let your mama raise you. I'm not.
You said it's you and somebody's daddy all summer 19.
Hey, you can have their son. No, thank you. But no, I mean, it's so real out here. And I don't think that people look at, even like, it's so funny, like even on with social media, people look at people as far as they physical appearance. And I used to be that, but what looks good to you ain't always what's good for you.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm just one of the people, I feel like you should be able to have it all. You should be able to have somebody that's attractive to you, and good for you. I just don't. I don't. I have to choose between that.
But you don't have to. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and that's the thing about it. Now me personally, I'm on a whole different page to where, I mean, I don't want no Beetlejuice. But you know what I'm saying? But I mean, I'm not really tripping, because first and foremost, I'm not procreating with nobody else. So at the end of the day, I could care less.
No more kids.
No more kids. So it's like,
so that's a level too. You can't want any more kids because it's not happening.
Right. So that X's somehow, but that's fine too, because there's a lot that don't already have kids, and so they're on the same mindset as I'm on with that. But definitely. It's not about looks. It's just about, who you are. And also, I just, kind of a little cocky, but I feel like I look good for the both of us. So you ain't got to be,
you gonna make it work. Yeah. No, that's not gonna have. That's not how it's gonna be. Hey, look at how cute over with that ugly dude.
but come on now. That's the way. Look at Beyonce with Jay-Z. I mean, come on now.
I know. And yeah,
but look at the man he is. Look at the man he is when it comes to, and I love that too. That's one thing I will say.
Do you think Jay-Z's ugly though?
I don't think he's the most attractive looking person, but there's things about him that I can look at and be like, he looks nice. So like at first glance, you might be like, he's ugly, but there's things about him that you can find attractive. Like I said before, that's one thing I did learn working at MAC, dealing with makeup and with beauty and aesthetics and stuff and facial features. You can find something pretty about everybody, even somebody that you wouldn't think is the most beautiful person. Yeah. But even with him, like that's one thing I do love about him too when it comes to being a man. And I just shared this point with a girl that I was talking to, one of my clients who's going through a big, a breakup with her husband. But, I guess he's like moving out or whatever. And one thing I do love, and that everything is love that Jay-Z said, he said, I don't care if the house burning down. I ain't leaving my wife. I ain't leaving or something like it. Like that's one thing in our culture that people are so quick to do is separate when things get a little rocky or things get a little, rough. Yeah. And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to do whatever. I'm not leaving. We moving, you want to move to LA? We moving to LA. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to do whatever I do to make that work. And I think that's what I like about him, or that really made me respect him, is like he's a man that, at the end of the day, who he gonna get better than Beyonce? But he's a man that's like very humble.
I think people give Beyonce way too much credit too, because like, yeah, that's another thing where yes, she's gifted, she's talented, she's, you know, and I'm not saying that she don't deserve some of the credit, but it just seems like people basically judge who she is as a woman, how she is to her man and stuff like that off of her looks, because we don't know much about who Beyonce is as a person.
No, we don't.
She hasn't given the world a lot of herself at all. She's a very seemingly introverted person.
Yeah.
So it's like you see her as an icon and you see her as beautiful and talented and stuff, but you don't really know, you know, what type of mate she is.
Yeah, I don't know what type of mate she is, but I know what a lot of the things that she does, I guess, philanthropic wise, and people that have things to say about her. You know, I mean, I don't know if I've ever read anything that anybody said about her being a bitch. I'm sure she could be, you know what I'm saying? But also, like you say, in a relationship, it's totally different. But I also feel like that's when it comes back to knowing who it is that's for you. Like you said, being the woman that you are, you're going to end up attracting the person that you're supposed to be with. And that's what I believe wholeheartedly, because for a while I believe, you know, that my soulmate was with somebody else, and, you know, that my life was over, or that was over. But once you know, get to learn who you are and love who you are and start becoming that higher version of yourself, you will attract people who's supposed to be in your life, whether that's friends, whether that's a relationship. And I don't feel like anybody that was in my past is who I was supposed to be with, or we would be together.
Right. And I'm okay with that way too.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So, and I just feel like it's been my experience, even in relationships, jobs, all that kind of stuff. It's just like my next thing is always better than the last thing I had. Hey. And so, I don't have a lack of faith about what the end will be, how it will be in the end. But this journey, actually being on the journey to meeting people and figuring things out and stuff, like, I'm scared. Yeah. I don't feel like, I guess for me, I ain't really like dated, you know what I'm saying? Like where I was out here choosing and talking to different people, like in a decade. So I don't really know what this looks like. And like some of my friends, they done met dudes online and stuff. Well, it's not too many people that I would probably talk to online, because I don't know you, and I'm, you know, I don't know. I have to know somebody to know you. I got to get some background info.
Yeah, but the way of the world is just different too, where a lot of people are working, people are busy. You know what I'm saying? So, but everybody has the internet. Everybody has a phone where you can pull the internet up. So it's so much easier to be online with it, because I was always so against it. Like, I'm not lame. I'm not a loser. I'm not finding nobody online. But really, it's not. That's just a different market. That's just a different way to meet people. Because if you're busy, like with me, I'm usually, you know what I'm saying, one thing to the next every day. Like I have a routine. So it's not easy for me to, I'm not a person that goes out, you know what I'm saying? I goes clubbing, I goes, you know, to different bars and stuff on a regular to meet people, or, you know, so I feel like that would be a way to meet somebody. I haven't tried that yet. Yeah. You know, not saying I'm just totally against it, but I'm also a more face-to-face, first impression type people. And I feel like a lot of people can be somebody else behind the phone, the screens. And I just don't have time to waste. So I don't have time to talk to you. Well, they can be
somebody else in person too. And that's the thing, is like, but I have actually met somebody online before, and it was like weird to me. But back when I was living in Northern Kentucky, I met this dude online, and I thought he sounds so good on the phone. So that's one thing. I love voices. So like, he sounds so good on the phone. I was like, oh, he sounds good on the phone. Like, you know, then when he got in front of me,
Beetlejuice. No, just playing.
Nah, he wasn't even unattractive. He was just very quiet and real nervous acting. And it was just like, he didn't have no swag. Like all that he had on the phone wasn't there when we got in person. And then because he was acting all weird and he seemed like just a weird dude, I was like, and he was going to school to learn how to do autopsies. So I was like, you weird and you got an obsession with dead bodies. I'm good.
It's okay. Hey, that's funny. My daddy
answer the phone again.
My daddy went to mortician school.
Did he?
Yeah. Ain't that funny?
Girl, I think he was going, maybe was it the pathologists or something like that. The people that actually do them, you
Right.
know. But yeah, I can't even somebody that would want to be a mortician would be eerie to me, and I don't know why. Maybe because I just like a little fear of dead stuff, dead bodies, and all that. But yeah, so I met somebody online before, and it was weird, and so it's not in my mind. I just want to. I like meeting people. Like I want to go somewhere. I guess I'm a fairy tale lover because I just want to like be in a bookstore and drop my book and you pick it up.
Right. Exactly.
Like our eyes meet and we just like, oh God,
Oh,
he's
you're
the
Carrie
one.
Bradshaw. Ain't that so cute? The Carrie Bradshaw game.
Yeah.
But no, I mean it's well, you know, it's funny because I was telling you the other day, and it was like a joke, but it's kind of not a joke. But like I think you asked me like who's my perfect guy, and I said my perfect guy was Stefan Urkel.
Yeah.
Like I just need him to come out of the machine, you know, just all cute and fly, handsome, put together, you know, and just take me out and you know live my best life with him. And then when I'm busy and I got things to do, he go back in the machine until I need him again. Like I think it's just what it is, like
doing nothing.
And I think with me, I need like a balance because I'm the type of person that whenever I get in a relationship, it's like Velcro. Like I want to be with you all the time. I want to talk, especially if I really
you worrisome.
I'm not really worrisome because it's usually, honey, the feeling is usually mutual. They the one that's really want to be Velcro on me. No, but for real though, like they.
So y'all codependent.
Yeah. Yes, I can admit I'm codependent on certain relationships, but I'm just working
it's
towards
cool
that.
though when it's mutual.
Yeah, but also moving forward, I know that any dude that I date, he has to be, especially now where I am in my life, to where I have, even with the podcast, with other, you know, things that passions that I've picked up in my life, I have to have somebody that is understanding of that I have other things going on, you know, that I have kids, the biggest thing. That's going to have a lot of my attention, and you need to be secure with, I'm not always going to be available for you, you know, and they have to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's where
there has to be a balance between the two.
So when I was on the market before this fake market or whatever, I didn't have 3 kids. I only had 1 kid, and he was gone over his daddy's house every weekend. So I had a lot of free time on the weekends. Now that's not my life.
Yeah.
So like to me, dating seems almost impossible. And I'm not the one, like we're not gonna start off dating like you coming over my house at night while my kids are asleep or nothing like that. So making time to date seems like, I mean, one, it's not a priority of mine right now, but it just seems I don't really know how that's gonna look when I decide to start dating.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, because I've been out of my relationship for 2.5 years, and I can't believe it. Much time has passed, but I'm in a different phase now. Whereas before, I was just like, don't want it, ain't looking for it, you know, stay away.
Yeah.
Now I am more open to it, and I have been out, you know what I'm saying? And it's fun. Like, I mean, having a good time in your singleness, but also being wiser with the decisions that you're making. And also, I feel like having the upper hand, you know, with anything, whatever you decide to do with the people or the person that you're dating. I just feel like just being more in control of your life and not letting it consume you or hold you back or distract you from what's really more important that you have going on. Like, I feel like that should be, especially when you're just dating and it's not so serious, it shouldn't take precedence over the more important things in your life. You should, it's all about balance.
Yeah.
Balance is key when it comes to everything that you want to pursue. And you make time for what you want. So if you want to date, you can make time for it, but just finding that balance to where it's healthy for your life so that you're not crazy or that you're not, you know, always, you know, have anxiety or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just also too, like, oh my God, we talked about this yesterday. Like the games. I'm not like the games that we play.
You like,
dating.
if I call you and then you don't respond or whatever, I can't call again because if I call again, I look thirsty or I look a certain way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like doing what works for you, because what are the rules? Like I said before, like
I don't even know the game.
Yeah, but like what are the rules? Like people say, oh, you know, what was that girl? We talked about Steve Harvey, but when he was, you know, in his book, you know, my sister was telling me, you know, that whole wait 90 days type rule. And I'm just like, that's a choice, because it don't matter. You can wait 90 days and you can still get cheated on. You can still be divorced. You know what I'm saying? Marry this person and then be divorced in a year. Like, there's no rules to it. It's like, I feel like it's just all about doing what feels right to you. Like, don't feel like because you're dating somebody that you need to do what they want to do, or that you need to be somebody that, or you need to be somebody that you think they want you to be. Like, it's really being honest, going back to that honesty thing, being honest from jump. Like, this is who I am. This is what I got going on in my life. You know, this is what I want, you know, and just kind of letting things flow, not being so strategic about dating, because I feel like that's when the games come into play.
Yeah. But I guess in my mind, I'm thinking, like, especially at 36 in the age range that I would be dating in, I just feel like you should be past the games.
Yeah.
And that's the part that it's not true, though. A lot of people aren't past the games and they're not being real. And so that's what makes it anxiety provoking. That's what makes it kind of scary to be out here meeting people, because a lot of people ain't presenting their real self.
Yeah.
And
they
so
they representative.
Yeah. And then, you know, if you and then I guess I don't know how to operate myself. And that's why I'm not even anxious to be dating. But like, because if I call you and you don't call me back, I'm kind of like, bet I won't call you no more. Or if I text and you take too long to text me back, I might be like, well, I ain't take. And that's the thing, is that's where the games come in. Like, I feel like I can't, you know, feel like I'm sweating you. I'm not doing that.
Right. But even in your own mind, though, you have to be like, you just never know. Like, you know, I recently went through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, text somebody and then they didn't text me back, or I didn't hear from them till the next day. But also, like, they was traveling. They was on a plane. They was going to the other side of the country. So a lot of the times, you know, and because it is like something kind of not new, you know what I'm saying? It's not a relationship. He don't owe me to text me right back.
Exactly. That's why I said I don't know how to operate.
Because that's
like
how I
not
feel. I feel moving with anybody that I'm talking to right now. If we just in the dating or talking phase, if you call me, or if you call me, FaceTime me, text me, whatever, I don't have to call you back today if I don't want you. I call you back when my heart, or when it moves me to call you back.
But in my mind, if you're not moved to call me back, you're not that interested. So I'm not ready to call you.
Yeah, but I mean, you're right. But things develop. You know what I'm saying? I might not be that interested right now, but it's not even that it's just that interested. I might not be available at that moment, to call and text you back. And you might be interested, but just not that day.
As you are meeting people who they might have other stuff going on that they haven't closed out, or different stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. That's why it feels so weird to even try, because, you know, that you just don't know what's going on the other person's end. But communication.
That's it.
People don't communicate. You know what? I do got this going on, or I was on a plane, or I did do that, or, you know, I'm at work, but I hit you up when I leave, or whatever.
That's
like,
exactly.
It just seems like there could be something. I guess, I don't know. And
but that's how you have to teach people how to treat you. Because that's exactly.
But I think it's because I don't handle the rejection well.
Yeah,
like
too.
Anytime I feel a twinge of rejection, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, who are you?
But I will say that's a part of knowing who you are.
Yep.
Because like I said, you know, even with that situation, I'm like, okay, fool didn't text me back, whatever, but okay, I'm gonna keep moving. I'm still gonna keep doing me. You know, like, if you don't want to call back, or if you don't want to, you know, like, you're the one that's missing out, because I know what I bring to the table.
So I need like 5 friends then.
Yeah, hey, we talked. Hey,
we talked about that.
It is, and I remember my mama said that as a kid. I remember her talking to somebody, or telling one of me and my sisters, as you know, as we were younger, like, you gotta have, you know, she's like, you know, y'all want to tag yourself to one dude, and because she always told us that we was too young to have boyfriends. You know, all my friends had boyfriends at 16, 15, and she didn't let us have boyfriends. And she's like, y'all want to tag yourself to one dude. You know, when I was young, you know, I had 5 boyfriends, and I had one for this and one for that. You know, not all of them she was having sex with, but you know, one for this, one for that, one that, you know, that like to dance, one that like to, you know, because it's hard, like, really, it's impossible. And it is ridiculous for people to think they're going to find everything they want in one person.
Is it ridiculous? Because I totally believe that.
Well, okay. And that's cool. But also, that's why I also get into the point of, you got to teach people how to treat you. You have to teach people what it is that you want, or what you like. Like, you can help people to grow or evolve or learn things about themselves that they don't know. Like, guys, like, one thing I like is a dude that likes to dance.
Yeah.
And if you don't like to dance, then
a dude that can dance.
Yeah, but even if you really can't dance, like
just
I'm
but that
still
you gonna get out here with me.
Yeah, you're gonna get out here with me.
have
And if
fun.
you don't, I'm going to dance with somebody else. And you need to be okay with that. You need to be secure enough as a man, like, bro,
it's
like
just a dance.
It's just a dance. You know what I mean? But you can also
Ain't no
teach
dude
somebody
trying
how to
hear
dance.
that, Bernica Jones.
But you can teach somebody how to dance. So you could be like, here, babe,
It's
just stay
just
right
a
here,
dance.
and I'm a you know groove on you. You know,
Yeah.
like there's different, but it's all about too give and take, and about being just open to new things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because I guess when I think about, I don't know, I want to have fun at this point. I don't
Yeah.
want anything serious. And then that whole other piece is I'm not about to be out here passing myself around just to different dudes either.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of weird being in this space because, I don't want to be, I definitely gonna be intimate with different people. And a lot of people, they expect intimacy like off top. What makes you feel like you entitled to me in that way?
I owes you nothing.
Not a
My
thing.
presence is a present. So, anything else is extra. And that's a bonus. That's a,
But a lot of guys do. They feel like,
because that's our culture. People feel like, that if you've been dating for a couple of weeks or whatever, that
couple of weeks.
I mean, seriously though, you know what I'm saying? That I have guys that I have known for years that have taken me to nice restaurants, taken me on nice trips, and I ain't touched them, because that's a choice, but also there probably wasn't a connection there or any chemistry. But,
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's got to be, got to be there. But it's all about being true to yourself and having control over yourself. Like, and that, especially with childhood trauma, things that go on, that's a whole different subject. People can be very insecure, and a lot of those insecurities, can lead to making poor decisions when it comes to dating. But really just being true to yourself, like I said, that's what's going to attract who you're supposed to be with. It's when you put out there what it is that you expect and who you stand for.
Why do you think it's so important? Why do you think it's so important? Because like when I think about it, like I do wonder why is this something that comes to my mind
about what?
About even just being single or thinking about the next thing. Like, why is it so important? Because at this point I have kids, I have a career, I have an earning potential that of a couple. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a significant other, but it's still something that comes up that I think about. So it's like, why is it so important for us?
To do what?
Women, we have these conversations a lot about, men and being on the market and finding the right person and all of that. Why do you think that we feel so strongly about it?
I think because as we grow and as we mature, there are different things that are important to us. And also, when you look at things from a spiritual standpoint, you have to realize who you allowing in your space, like I said, and who you letting in your life, who you letting in your body, who you letting in your, it that carries with you forever. And I think it's important because you want someone who is on the same level as you, as far as you all think the same, you all moving in the same space, you all support each other in what you're doing. But also, you don't have time to just, it's scary out here, and it can be very detrimental to your life to allow certain people in your life that are not good for you, mind, body, soul.
Right. So that's why I'm wondering, like, why do we put so much stock into it and worry about it, more than we should? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that depends on who you are and where you are in your life. Like I say, I'm not worried about it. I'm definitely not. Like I thought that my last situation was my happily ever after, and it wasn't. And when we first broke up, I just felt like my world is over, and my happily ever after, that's down the drain. But oh my God, once you step back from it and you go through the process, when they say trust the process, you really have to, because you realize that
there wasn't a situation for you.
If I'm not with it, it wasn't for me. And that's okay. But then also I look at my sister who's 46. Her son's 26. He's grown. She's raised him. He just graduated college. He's living his life. She's engaged. She's getting married next year. And, I would like for it to happen for me before 46, but that was her journey. And she's happy as can be at 46. So everybody's journey is differently. That's why I'm not rushing it. That's why I'm not worried about it. And that's why I'm saying just go with the flow and have fun with it. You know, not meaning date frivolously and out here jumping from one guy to the next, but just have fun, just being yourself and and allowing someone to make you feel like a woman and allowing yourself to have a good time. And I don't put so much stock in it because I know that I can have not really anybody I want, but I can have a lot of what I want. And there's so many people that are in relationships or that settle just to say that they have somebody, and that won't be me. Moving forward, I won't just to say that I have somebody, because I know I can get a lot of people, but I have to choose better. Choose wisely. And my thing also is too, it's funny, when I was with my ex, we had went somewhere one time, and I was with some different couples, and I was sitting there just kind of looking around or whatever, and then I thought to myself, and that's those little red flags too that you have to yourself. I was thinking, I'm like, they're looking at different couples, and I was like, does he really don't represent me well?
But representation is important, isn't it?
It is. And I was just like, if my man, if I would say, for instance, we was invited somewhere to an event and I wasn't able to show up and he had to stand in my place, who would I want to represent me? Exactly. And if a damn sure it wasn't him, you know what I'm saying? Because he could, okay. So, I'm not even going to go there, but I would much rather want somebody who could represent me. And I think that's just moving forward. Whoever's supposed to be with me, he's going to be like the best representation of who I am.
Right. He's going to be the truth. It's just like NDRE. She said, because he's the truth. And if I'm a reflection of him, then he must be fly.
Exactly.
Like, he has to be a king.
He has to be a king. Ain't no way around it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the market is not flooded with kings.
No,
you know what I'm saying? It's not. It's flooded
with clowns.
Peasantry.
And clowns. Bozos.
The bozos.
Right.
But I don't know. It's just,
and cornballs.
And cornballs and cornfields.
Hey.
We running around blowing dandelions out here.
Exactly. And I need roses, honey.
Man, I need sunflowers.
Yeah.
But
sunflowers are peaceful. And that's the thing. I need peace in my life.
Peace.
You have to bring me peace.
You can't even be my friend if you don't bring me peace.
And that's the truth. I told my cousin, because she's been in a relationship with this guy for years. And I had asked her one time, I'm like, why are you with him? Mm-hmm. I'm like, does he bring you more happiness or more sadness? Like, you have more good days than bad days.
Yeah.
And
because a lot of people don't want to be in the cornfield. That's why they just settling. They settling because they don't want to wait. They don't want to go through this uncomfortable period of being alone, and I guess it doesn't have to be uncomfortable, but for some people, like even for me, being used to being in a relationship, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. It's like, it's a very vulnerable place to me to be out here wondering who you're gonna run into next. Like, it's not.
But when you have somebody at home with you who's turning you down or who's making you feel like you're nothing, then you might as well be by yourself.
Uncomfortable. Yeah,
exactly. It's uncomfortable any way it goes.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not funny, but a girl that I talked to, she was telling me, that. She's like, well, I just don't, her and her husband's breaking up, and she's like, well, I just don't want to be by myself, and and I'm in this house, and I'm just scared that somebody's gonna come in, and something could happen. I'm just used to having a man there. Like, I feel more comfortable having a man there to protect me, and I'm like, yeah, but if the man that's at home with you is hurting you in other ways, then what does it matter?
Get an alarm system.
Get an alarm system.
Get a gun.
Get a bag. Strap up. Wait a minute. Not like that, but yeah, get a strap. Do what you
Only you would think that.
Hey, I
can't
wait.
Get the strap.
Lord Jesus, that is hilarious.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, but
yeah. So, I mean, it don't have to be scary or whatever, but I think it is when people aren't used to do. Especially when you spent years with somebody.
But they also, like, I always see that that quote that's like, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. Mm-hmm. So you have to sometimes go through an uncomfortable phase to grow, because it's not easy to get out of a relationship, especially if you're a codependent person, or especially if you love that person. If you spend a lot of time with that person, that becomes your normal. So a new normal feels very uncomfortable. But if this was best for you to become the best version for yourself, then you got to go through the mud to get to the other side. You got to go through those rough times.
Yeah, and even when I'm thinking about people on the market who are not available, who are presenting like they're single stuff, I'm just like, why would you be with somebody that you don't feel? Why would you be in a relationship with somebody you don't think they're special enough to acknowledge them?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That you don't think they're important enough to display in any type of way. You just give the illusion that you're single. That's really, to me, it's really degrading to whoever you're dealing with.
And as a woman, why would you want to be with someone who does not make you feel
Special.
that way, make you feel special? Like, why would you just want pieces of somebody? Like, I want the whole pie. I don't want just pieces of you when you can give it to me and, you know, I just take the little crumbs. Like, I want the whole loaf.
Yeah.
And I feel like I deserve the whole loaf. And if you not, then I need to try a different type of bread. Like, I need to go with a different brand because, you know, I don't want just pieces or just crumbs because I know I deserve the whole thing.
Yeah. And that's getting to a place where you value yourself enough to know your worth and know that you do deserve the best.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I just don't understand that piece. And I've actually been in that place where I've been with somebody who never really acknowledged our relationship. And so, and now in my life, especially at this age, I definitely agree to be a secret.
Exactly.
And that's why I can't even consider somebody who's fake available. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just.
Well, what did DJ I say that other episode? What do you say our options?
Would you rather? He said, would you rather? Did he say would you rather be in a relationship with a dude who ain't about nothing, or would you rather be with a man who had somebody but he had a lot going on for himself or something like that, or he was a good guy?
Yeah.
And I just feel like good guy and you trying to have a lot of women ain't meshing. But in other cultures, there are men who have many different women that they take care of. But a lot of these guys, they can't even take care of one girl. Exactly. So how you gonna try to have two?
Exactly.
You can't take care of yourself. So how you gonna have two?
Yeah, I don't even want any ends of the spectrum. I need something that's on a whole different playing field, that's in a whole different lane. But I think once it definitely has to be, like you said, where's the market? The market is us.
Yeah.
The market is in you. The market is in you because you know what it is that you want or what it is that you bring into the table. And I feel like once you find that person or once you click with that person, you'll know.
Yeah. Well, I think they'll find you. I think your energy, you know what I'm saying, will draw certain people to you. And a lot of people have to address that too.
Yeah.
If you are drawing in the wrong types of people, you have to wonder what is about me that it feels like I deserve these type of people that I allow them to stick around.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, just being out here is like weird.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and I don't know why I feel like I'm out somewhere, like that I'm actually in a certain space, but it's probably in my mind. But it's just weird because, you know, at this age, I'm not going to pursue anybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a weird thing. So I'm just going to be chilling and doing me.
And I think too, in our culture, people put such a stigma on people that are single. People look at it like, well, why are you single? I get that all the time. Why are you single? Because I'm crazy. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
Because I'm crazy. Because I had to go.
Exactly. Think
for
whatever.
Different reasons.
Exactly.
And because some people need to learn how to walk away. And that's just it. Like, a lot of people are in relationships and not happy and needing people on the side and all that kind of stuff because they done settled. Like, no, sometimes you got to walk away and go find what you really, really want.
Just go find yourself.
That
and
too.
Like you said, with the law of attraction, who is supposed to be with you will come to you. You'll attract that person. So, and it's you, and it's never when you're looking for it. So it's just best to, like I say, work on yourself, get to know yourself, get to know what you want, know what you're not going to stand for, what you're not going to accept. And I think that will make your choice much easier, or it'll make it, you'll see who it is that you're supposed to be with, because the things that you want, you know, you'll find those in that person.
And be organic fruit.
Exactly. No fakeness.
No fakeness, no antibiotics, none of that. I don't know nobody got no drug problem, no none of that. Like, be together.
No non-genetically modified.
Man,
none of
be
it.
Together.
Exactly.
Like, and that's the thing, is being together. Like,
or wanting to be better. Like, if you're not all the way together, like, getting
No,
yourself
I'm not
together.
at this point. I'm not helping nobody
No,
build
I'm not-
themselves up
I'm
either,
not
because
saying
I
I'm-
feel like a lot of men, to me, at this point, if you meet somebody at this age, they need to be together, or they need to be actively working on themselves
Yes.
and not pursuing no woman. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They need to be together, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, we as women have to make sure that we together too in certain ways. But I think a lot of men, they're not ready for a woman, let alone a woman with children and all of that kind of stuff.
And a woman with standards, or a woman who's gonna call them out or hold them accountable to what it is, to the moves that they making.
Yeah.
Especially if the moves aren't positive to the type of person that you want to be, being your highest self. Why are you moving like it if you claim you want to be a better man,
Yeah.
or you want to be a better person? Like, you know, like, get your shit together.
Yeah. Does these decisions support the life that I'm trying to create?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And answer that. But, you know, this is just a conversation that could go on forever, because there's so many layers to, like, trying to figure out others and trying to figure out yourself and all of it. But, you know, thank y'all for joining us with the Tiddy Pow Wow today. You know, where's the market? You the market.
Exactly.
There is no real market out here. It is not no real market.
But we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. And if you need to reach us, we can be reached at the tiddypowwow@gmail.com. You can also DM us on Instagram at the Tiddy Powwow. And we also have a Facebook page that's The Tiddy put together in Powwow. The Tiddy Powwow. So double D's. Thank y'all for joining us. Okay.
It's going down. It's going down. It's going down on the Tiddy Powwow. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down on the Tiddy Powwow. It's going down. It's going down. It's going down on the Tiddy Powwow.